Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel where we do painting tutorials. I have a loose sheet of watercolor paper I just taped to some sturdy cardboard so I can still move it around and flip it as I find comfortable, and I start by coloring pretty much the middle side with some light blue. I'm applying it diagonally from the bottom right towards the top left. I'm going to use it all throughout the middle section. And I alter it with some pea green it's more like a teal / turquoise color. This set does not have the actual pigment names written down on the individual pencils, and I do not remember them from memory, so I'm just going to go with what they look like to me. And if you're wondering why I'm using this set is, well, I was scribbling around with it at like 3 a.m. and I was just too lazy to get my other set. So if you have the Faber Castell, which I normally use, or any other set for that matter, just use that one. And for the top right corner and the bottom left one, I just use a darker blue. I believe this was sapphire blue, but any dark blue will do. And if you do not like blue tones, use reds, oranges, greens, earth tones, whichever is your favorite color scheme. Lastly, I add a tiny hint of purple or violet all across. Then I take my watercolor brush and I start blending from where I have my lightest color, which in this case was that pea green. I blend towards the blue, then I go back to the green, and then I blend towards the other blue corner. I repeat this motion a couple of times till I make sure everything is smooth, or at least smooth enough for that illustrative background I'm going for that you saw in the thumbnail. So I needed to blend about 3 times with my brush to achieve this look. Then I found this strip of watercolor paper and I applied the dark blue and the violet on it. I mixed the two, add water, and with my brush I used these flicking motions to add tall grass blades or flowers. I don't know what they are, I'm just painting from imagination here. And the background is still a bit wet. I'd say it was about 50–60%, so keep that in mind. And obviously, different kinds of paper and pencils will behave differently at different levels of humidity. For some, it may bleed tremendously into the background. For some, it may stay put like this one's. They're a bit lower quality, still pretty good pencils, don't get me wrong, but they stay but even when I blend it, I need 3 to 4 times to make it transition into each other, so I don't really need to wait as much to do this. If you have better quality, more flowy pencils, more flowy paints, then you may want to wait till they're like 70% dry, 75%. And once it is completely dry, I take my black pencil and I start scribbling some tiny branches from the top right side, and then I do some scribbly shapes on the tip of the branches for foliage. If drawing is not your thing, there is going to be a traceable over at my Patreon page, Sunshine Arts. Well, there is actually a traceable to pretty much all of my tutorials there. And we also do full-time exclusive tutorials, digital downloads of my paintings, and all of that kind of fun stuff. So if you'd like to first support me and the channel and check all of that out, link will be down in the description box along with all of the supplies I have used throughout this video. Now, once I finish those branches on the top, I go with the black over the blue flowers or grass. I add some more defined grass blades and then I scribble vertically on the bottom to fill in all of those gaps because I didn't want to cover it entirely with grass blades. I was a bit lazy, so I just scribbled on the bottom 1 centimeter of the painting, and then I scribble on top of some of those grass blades to make them look like flowers. I add hints of blue just to balance it out so you don't have one blue layer, one black layer, because that will look weird, and this is already a weird painting, so I just add a smidge of blue. Then it was still looking empty, and I take my black and I sketch out some random butterflies over the flowers and over the tree blossoms or leaves or whatever. A friendly suggestion I may give you is don't draw the same exact butterfly all over your painting. Like, yes, do the same butterfly or different kinds, it's up to you, but do it from different angles. Like one is saying in front of you, one is to the left side, one is saying to its right side, one is flowing at a diagonal. Draw them all from different angles, that way it looks more natural and you also get good practice from doing so. And the same goes to painting trees, seagulls in the sky, painting grass blades. Do it all of different heights, all in different direction, all in different sizes in the same painting. It's how nature works and you're going to get much better results. So once I have my butterflies down, I do some random scribbly circles all across to fill in the space, but it was looking too dark, so I take my white marker and I outline those circles, and then I just do some line art, aka I go on top of the tree branches and a bit over the blossoms, the butterflies, and just some of the more prominent flowers from the bottom. I just do a line on top of the stem and then outline the bud, and that is pretty much about it. I usually love to use a Posca marker for this, but we're still sold out on those, so I'm gonna take my time and go over a couple of times with this Faber Castell marker instead. The reason I did not use my white pen I started the video with, I don't know if you noticed I had it on the bottom of my desk, is I noticed it is a bit too pointy and it tends to lift and reactivate these watercolor pencils, so I just stuck to using a marker. And if you have a good correction pen, you can definitely use that, but just be careful not to get random blobs of that white fluid, I'm not sure what you call it. But yeah, that is pretty much about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd like to give a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters for the month of September. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see each other in the next one. Bye bye!